Hello, everyone. My name is Ravi Kumar, President at Infosys. Welcome to this session with Mayor Bonnie Crombie, the mayor of Mississauga, where we are setting up and expanding our operations in Canada. Mayor Crombie uniquely built a template, I would say, for integrated transit, igniting new opportunities in the city for economic development, creating a more open, engaging, and inclusive city. In fact, what is also very unique, an ecosystem of academia, public policymakers, and enterprises coming together for a common purpose, which is to expand and grow in the city of Mississauga. Thank you, Mayor, for joining us today on this session, and welcome to this virtual meet with our customers in Canada.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Ravi. I really look forward to our discussion together.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, my first question for you is what makes Mississauga a good city for innovation, for global enterprises to present themselves into Canada?
Well, there's so many reasons, really, Ravi, but let me highlight some of the key ones that I think your clients, your stakeholders, your supply chain network, everyone you do business with, I think will relate to these issues. So one of the biggest reasons why Mississauga is good for innovative companies is because our city is home to some of the strongest businesses and is one of the largest business communities in all of Canada. We're home to more than 75 Fortune 500 companies. We have about 96,000 businesses and about 1,400 multinationals. So it's a very, very solid base of companies. We're part of the Toronto region, the entire we call it the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, and sometimes we include the city of Hamilton in that as well. And it's a large base of both consumers and businesses that includes almost 7.5 million people, a little more in fact, and almost 300,000 companies when you look at it. We have a workforce of 4.3 million people and another 400,000 students. I think what is our secret sauce here, our competitive advantage in the GTA, in the Toronto area, particularly in Mississauga, is our talented workforce, and particularly in Mississauga locally. We have a large number of residents who have degrees, bachelor degrees, and about 20% of those have a very specific engineering, architectural, professional designations on top of it. And that gives us a very high rank among other major North American regions in terms of our trained and highly skilled, talented workforce. And I really think the education of our workforce is vital and really distinguishes us from other regions that we compete with. We, in fact, have 32 universities and colleges, all within a commuting distance of Mississauga. And these act as talent feeders, if you will, for all of our knowledge-intensive businesses and industries and our innovative companies. We're also home to the largest airport in Canada, Pearson Airport. People think of it as the Toronto airport, but in fact is actually based in Mississauga. So that is a great source of pride for us as well, not to mention tax revenue. And we're very home to some of Canada's largest clusters, some leaders in clusters in a variety of industries. We are part of the second largest technology cluster in North America, home to 730 ICT companies employing more than 37,000 people. We're also home to the second largest life sciences hub. So we have all the biotech, pharmaceutical companies here, over 470 life sciences companies employing more than 25,000 people here. And I think we're the largest aerospace sector in the country with over 345 businesses and some of the largest employment in aerospace as well, now that Bombardier has moved itself into Mississauga as well. We're also one of the most diverse cities in the world, which is key to why global companies want to invest in our city or locate in our city. Excuse me. Canada has a global skills strategy that attracts talented workers and immigrants from around the world. We have, I think, over 150 languages spoken in Mississauga, for people from over 200 different countries. And it's pretty incredible. Almost 56% of our population was born outside of Canada. So it makes us very, very diverse, but at the same time, we're very inclusive and welcoming as well. Makes for a very rich cultural community that celebrates people from across the world. No matter where you come from, you feel at home and comfortable in Mississauga.
Thank you so much, Mayor. That was such an elaborate answer. Very impressive credentials. My next question is, and you spoke about talent feeders, and that's what we thrive on as a company, and most tech digital services companies do. How do you make the city transit system good enough to actually get employees from different parts of the larger ecosystem to feed into the city? Tell us a little bit about the impressive city transit system which you have yourself been an architect on.
Oh, so we are trying to build more transit-oriented communities. Our city was once known as rather spread out, should we call it, urban sprawl, but we are building more intensification in now. We don't build single-family homes anymore, and we all realize that transit must be built at the time those developments are going in. So we've all embraced intensification and trying to build complete communities, livable, walkable communities that have public transit access, and also the right mix of housing options for people, recreational, cultural amenities too. And I think that's one of the best attractions for large global companies to locate in areas where their employees will be happy as well. So, we have 2 GO train lines that go through our city, on the Milton GO line, and the Kitchener line, and the Lakeshore line. So actually 3, but one of them just tangentially touches us. The Lakeshore being the most active with 15-minute service. We have a very large bus network that covers our city. We have one of the largest bus networks in Canada. We are building light rail transit along our Hurontario, which is kind of our largest boulevard, if you will, in the city. It will be 18 kilometers long with 19 stops. It begun the production now, and will be completed in 4 years in 2024. We have bus rapid transit as well that has dedicated lanes being proposed and being worked on as we speak along Lakeshore Boulevard and along Dundas Street as well, if that means anything to anyone. And we're rebuilding our transit terminal. We have a dedicated bus rapid transit line that runs parallel to one of our highways, the 403, that's 19 kilometers as well, and picking up steam, and more individuals will use that system than anywhere else. And certainly our light rail will attract, the business case says 33 million people, but I know that once people get used to it, they'll leave their cars behind, and we'll have upwards of 50 million people on that route as well. So we continue to build in Mississauga, whether it's on the lake, on reclaimed land, once where a power plant was. We have mixed use community coming in at the Lakeview project, and again on Brightwater, also on the lake, another 72 units. There are very few places in the world that have a lakefronts being developed, and we're very fortunate to be one of those. And of course, that's where we see rapid transit connecting those developments with the GO train that goes into downtown Toronto and right across the GTA into Hamilton. So that is really very good news for us. And in the downtown in Mississauga, we have 25 new towers, including commercial, office, and employment residence. So employment and residential, 25 of them in the next 5 years, and another 30 towers over the next 30 years. So you can see the downtown is really becoming intensified. And as well, we have our light rail transit going through the downtown. And what we're hopeful to build is a loop that will go along with our train, will go right through the downtown. So we have a $7.4 that's billion, $7.4 billion investment coming with the light rail transit. It's really creating that north-south rapid transit project that it will regionally integrate with other public transit, such as the GO trains I mentioned, and our very own public transit system right across through to City of Toronto, through their Eglinton Crosstown. So a lot going forward with respect to public transit, but we now know the need to build in the public transit at the time you're building in the new developments. And this city was largely built around the time of when cars were king and gas was cheap and land was cheap. And so we have very large properties and very large boulevards, but it is allowing us also to retrofit in the public transit as a result. So these are very important economic growth lessons for us, but we're embracing them, and we continue to build in public transit as well.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for this one. In fact, I would say this is a great template for any city to emulate. One of the other things, as I was reading about the city and the work you've done, which kind of excited me, is you've been an evangelist to bring academia, public policy, and corporations together. And that's a template for the future of education and works to be intertwined in many ways, especially in a digital age. Tell us a little bit about some of the local work in bringing this community together.
Well, I see one of the key responsibilities for the mayor is really to attract investment to the city, because of course, if I'm creating jobs, I want people to live and work here. So I always continue to bring in investment, whether it's foreign or domestic investment, and always work on our current CEOs to expand right here in Mississauga rather than go elsewhere, expand their own footprint. So we have very strong business retention planning and business retention and expansion plans, as well as foreign direct investment, as well as investment from across North America. I have a very keen interest to attract all kinds of sectors, but primarily where we have a focus. And it's very easy to attract other companies in your supply chain once you're already located in Mississauga. So we have intensive knowledge of sectors like advanced manufacturing. Many of them are located around the airport, for instance, or along the 400 series highway, so they have great access to roads, professional services, consulting, banking, financial supports, life sciences, as I've mentioned already. All the major pharmaceutical biotech companies are here already. Smart logistics, we have logistics companies. ICT, as I mentioned earlier, we have almost 500, if not more, ICT companies, and some of the second largest. Actually, we have 750 ICT companies. I'm underestimating here. So those are where we have a lot of strength. And of course, you always play to your strength, but we also have head offices in food and beverage, in clean technology as well. And so, when you have a strength in certain sectors, it's much easier to attract other similar companies and industries in that same industry, rather. And of course, they're always, I will say that it does tend to attract talent. So once that talent pool exists in a city, they can move around more easily from company to company, and the talent pool exists here. So we're very fortunate with that. And I love working with our companies, as much as I love my residents. I realize that our business tax base is what keeps us going and keeps us afloat. So I always have a commitment to build and strengthen our community through our business enterprises and attracting more investment into the city.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much. I'm going to squeeze in two quick questions. I just wanted to check if there is anything you're adjusting to your strategy for a post-pandemic era, especially at a time when we know that we are probably on the edge of actually transitioning to a new era. I would call it a post-pandemic era. Is there adjustments in your infrastructure, in the way you reach out to companies, the strategy of hybrid work? Is there something unique you're doing to support companies in the future?
So, those are very good questions. And, we have had many a town hall and stakeholder meetings with either the business improvement areas, our board of trade, many sector strategy meetings in different sectors, really to understand their issues. Because, of course, during the pandemic, there have been winners and there have been losers. And we know, for instance, that, the tourism, hospitality industry suffered, airline industry, aerospace has suffered greatly, personal care providers suffered greatly. Many of these industries here in Ontario, and particularly in Peel and Toronto, were in lockdown for, I think, longer than anywhere else in North America. So these sectors really, truly suffered. So the focus is on them to get them the supports, the financial supports that they need. And we do this largely by advocating to other levels of government, because of course we don't have the firepower through the city to do that. Cities aren't permitted to provide financial supports in Ontario and in Canada in that way, but we do advocate to other levels of government to continue with business loan supports, wage subsidies for these sectors. When the pandemic first hit, pardon me, we had 6 town halls with thousands of residents and businesses taking part. We heard from under 650 businesses and organizations, and that helped shape our pandemic response. I met with individually with representatives from many of these sectors that were hard hit, like hospitality, tourism, restaurants, and the personal care providers, our manufacturers as well. And we work closely with the Board of Trade, and as I said, to ensure that businesses have the resources that they needed, both for their employees and their customers, to make sure everyone was safe, everyone had the financial supports that they needed to continue to deal with COVID. I think one of the key things we did was to cement our economic recovery plans right at our council. Our plans really put into place, were shaped by the conversations that we had with the businesses, and these plans help define the specific needs that were in Mississauga. And so we pushed for allowing everyone to thrive. I pushed for early openings of business, but the provincial government had other ideas about who was essential and who was non-essential and needed to remain closed and shuttered. But we continue to attract business even in the era of COVID, because we're Mississauga and we're always a desirable place to locate. And those companies that could still continue to invest, and our economic development team, they helped create thousands of new jobs. In fact, about 3,000 new jobs, even in 2020, during the height of the pandemic. We saw companies like Roche Pharmaceuticals invest more than $500 million at their Canadian headquarters here in Mississauga, which will create up to 500 new jobs over the next 5 years at their AI Center of Excellence. We saw the arrival of online grocery giant Good Food Market, which signed a lease for 200,000 square feet at a state-of-the-art facility that will become that company's flagship fulfillment center, and created another 2,000 jobs right there at full capacity. And finally, White Studio as well. They opened their second studio. So we now have 8 film studios in Mississauga. We've become Hollywood North, if you will. And this particular studio added 181,000 square feet. So we have over 1 million square feet of studio space with the 8 studios in Mississauga. So we continue to see investments, of course, Infosys as well. We don't want to forget you. So we continue to see investment even during, which was a very critical year, given that it was COVID.
Thank you, Mayor. In fact, as I was talking to your staff and team just before we started this session, I wanted to kind of ask you a fun question. I was asking them what's the best places to eat in Mississauga, and what are the fun things to do.
Oh my gosh. Well, so there's so many great things to do.
The mayor is most equipped to answer that question. They said that to me. So I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, because they didn't want to commit. I know. I live near the waterfront trail and I love it. And we have great beaches here and people are biking, and, there are a lot of outdoor activities. There's sailing as well. And so I really love that about my city, that everybody is very outdoorsy, and we do a lot of hiking. We have a park that's called Riverwood Conservancy that leads to a number of hikes and trails in Mississauga, and it's fantastic as well. And it has some beautiful gardens attached. We have beautiful gardens, the rhododendron gardens, and many others right along Lakeshore, and with backing onto the lake. So fantastic, a lot of natural natural amenities like parks. We have Lake Aquitaine in the north, up in Meadowvale as well. So right across the city, there are parks. There are over 400 parks and splash pads and pools and 11 community centers for everyone to use. And of course, with people from right around the world, you know that we have great restaurants catering to everyone's tastes. So whether it's Middle Eastern or South Asian or Italian, we have it all. I'm Polish by background. We have Polish Ukrainian restaurants as well. We have some of the best restaurants here catering to everyone. You can have steak and seafood and Italian and biryani, you know, all in the same week. So Middle Eastern food, we're home to Mohammed Faqih, who started Paramount Fine Food Restaurants right here in Mississauga. We're very proud of that as well. He's one of our, local entrepreneurs. It's a big success. So I couldn't even begin to name any 1 or 2 or 10 restaurants because they are all delicious and amazing. And as I said, there is something for everyone because every taste from every country can be accommodated.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you so much for your leadership, for your passion for the city of Mississauga, as well as helping companies like Infosys to expand into Canada. Thank you again for everything you do, and look forward to working with you and your teams.
Thank you so much.